Back to start the second quarter, and John Kidd will kick out of his own end zone. Darian Gordon is back for the Broncos at his own 45. And Kidd with a horrible kick, but it takes a jet bounce and out of bounds at about the 45-yard line.
This is going to be a tough thing for the New York Jets today. Their punting game, it is definitely subpar, something to watch for.
Want to remind you, Monday on CBS. Guess what? It's Raymond's birthday, and we're celebrating with the funniest episode yet. This is one party you don't want to miss, and all new. Everybody Loves Raymond, Monday at 9, 8 Central, right here on CBS, America's most watched network. John Elway with excellent field position. The ball at the Jet 45. The toss to Davis. And the pickup of a couple. Mo Lewis, Brian Cox in on the tackle.
Just a little thing to watch, Greg. We talked about it earlier, but let's just set it up. Watch to the right, Mo Lewis, number 57. Watch how he gets on the outside. Look at it. You see? Here he is. Now he makes Terrell Davis run back inside. If you let Terrell Davis get the option of going outside, then he spreads the defense out. And then when he cuts back, there is big gaping holes for those big runs. So terrific job by Mo Lewis.
2nd and 7. Davis loses the handle in the backfield and falls on the ball back at the 48-yard line. In all the Bronco games that we've seen this year, I don't ever recall seeing Terrell Davis do that.
That's the first. In fact, I think what did he go, about 800 attempts without a fumble, Greg, and then you showed up and he fumbled one time, and you're just bad luck. This time, the wind can cause the pitch play to be difficult sometimes, but it did not look like it affected the toss that time from John Elway to Terrell Davis. He was just trying to grab it a little too quick.
Broncos have lost only 6 fumbles in 17 games this season. They spread the field now with 5 wide receivers. Elway with time over the middle. Incomplete, intended for McCaffrey at about the 30-yard line. Scott Frost, number 47, an extra defensive back on the field, was there for the coverage. 2
real things here. The Jets on 3rd down are excellent covering receivers down the field. And the second thing is, so far today, it looks like John Elway is having a little problem throwing the football and putting it exactly where he wants it because of the wind.
John Elway is 0 for 5 so far today. Meggett back at his own 10 for the punt. High snap. Ruin loses the handle. And he is down at the 43-yard line.
Greg, I said it earlier, on days like this, the wind is blowing, there's no moisture in the air, the football is cold, it does get hard to handle. We've seen it 3 times so far today. Watch what happens. Squirts out of his hand.
In our quest to learn even more about how people watch TV, we sent out our experts. Both of them.
That was a very good play from the outside by the quarterback. There's a great 2 tackles and get the first down with 10-15 to go. That puts this squad ahead by 7.
We're just for feet. Watch 3rd quarter.
Some people like theirs strong.
We sent the RCA experts to learn more about how people watch TV. You're watching the Channel Channel.
40. Come on. Ooh. 40.
The result? RCA TVs with Guide Plus Gold. The revolutionary on-screen guide that lets you find what's on faster and easier when you just can't wait.
Monday, CBS presents Robin Williams in a rare television appearance. Don't miss an unforgettable performance on LA Doctors, CBS Monday.
Welcome back to Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. The AFC Championship game here on CBS. 13:27 to play, and the Jets take over at the Denver 43. Testaverde throws. Curtis Martin to about the 41-yard line. Let's go back to the Tom Ruin miscue.
Well, Greg, we've heard it from coaches. Wind is a great equalizer. What's Tom Ruin? Nice job catching the ball. The snap, the wind blew it up. But then when you try to squeeze a football on a day like today, you put your fingertips on it, it's like, there it goes, you know, like the grape seed.
Whose job is it to rub up the football?
Always the quarterback. Make sure the footballs are rubbed up enough so when the weather is like this, that you can still handle it.
The home quarterback.
The home quarterback, they're responsible for the footballs.
2nd and 9. Martin straight ahead and not much there.
And you know what this wind has done? It's changed the game. I mean, of course, we've already seen that, but now you're the coach on both sides. Mike Shanahan, Bill Parcells. You got to conduct the game a lot different than you thought the game you prepared for all week. It's out the window. You got to call plays differently because of the wind.
We have seen the wind affect a field goal attempt by John Hall, who has been accurate from as far away as 54 yards today, and he sailed wide. It is now 3rd and 8. Testaverde, 8 of 8 throwing the football so far today. To the side, Brady takes a hit and goes down short of first down yardage. Romanowski was out there along with cornerback Ray Crockett.
Well, that is a good job. This is what this Bronco defense, it does best. Last week we saw it against the Miami Dolphins. When receivers caught the ball down the field, watch Kyle Brady on the flat, watch the tackling, Ray Crockett, and then watch the help. Bill Romanowski ramping him up, not giving up those extra yards.
And on 4th down,
well, he's going for it.
Testaverde comes back, and the play clock is now down to 5, 4, and now the Jets will have to call timeout, using their first timeout of the first half to stop the clock with 11:21 to play in this scoreless game.
Expenditures have slightly decreased 2.9% over the course of the fiscal year. So, Jim, would you care to elaborate on this?
Jim?
The Accord from Honda. How will it affect you?
Are you with us, Jim?
This is your nose with nighttime nasal congestion. This is your nose with a Breathe Right nasal strip. Breathe Right lifts open your nasal passages with a simple spring-like action, which helps to relieve nighttime nasal congestion. Breathe Right. All night.
I can't believe you tore a stunt like that. What were you thinking? You weren't thinking, were you? I don't think so. You think you're different? You think you're special?
No, I don't.
Get that camera out of here. Did we go over this? We did. You want to coach this team?
I didn't know it was the last one. He's so sensitive.
These are mine, too.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda Accord. It's more than a car, it's a state of mind. IBM, are you ready for e-business? And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by Southwest Airlines. This is a pretty interesting call by Bill Parcells and the Jets.
Well, when you go for it, 37-yard line, you're kind of in no man's land. But when you go for it, don't worry about the consequences. Just do it and live with the results.
4th and 4. Quick drop, quick throw over the 30. That's enough for a first down. Dedrick Ward with the catch.
And then, Greg, I didn't have time to keep talking, but The reason maybe you go for it, your defense is playing really well, so you got a little more confidence, but this is what the Jets do so well. 5 wide receivers, the quarterback, 1, 2, 3, quick throw, and a perfect throw by Vinny Testaverde, and a nice catch in traffic, but the Jets have been doing those inside catches all year long.
Jets now at the Denver 28. Testaverde yelling to the far side. Play clock down is 3-2, and has to call timeout.
Well, no, they got to reset this clock. A football came on the field, and it came from the sidelines.
Football was on the field. Officials stopped the clock, reset the game clock to 25 seconds.
So Testaverde caught that. He was pointing in Keith Byers' general direction.
I kept going, what's he pointing at? Is Keith that wide open? But a football was out on the field, and Vinny Testaverde did the right thing. Except he had a great defense to throw against that time. I don't know if you'll see it again this time.
So we'll try it again. First down.
Same play again. Same defense.
Testaverde looked, has time. Byard goes for the first down. Upended, lost the football. The Broncos say they have it, and they do. 10-14 to play in the first half. Another big turnover here in Denver.
Introducing a sports sedan that sets a new standard of performance, and a touring sedan that sets a new standard of luxury. Here they are. Introducing the new TL from Acura.
Who called this meeting? I'm out of here.
Whoa, look out! Hi there.
Need stopping power? Get genuine Midas brakes installed for $69.95 after rebate for a limited time. And of course our lifetime guarantee. Go Midas.
It's easy to be a fan where the sun's shining all the time. But when you're a fan in Buffalo, you're truly a fan in the NFL.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Watch Vinny Testaverde look down the field. He moves Bill Romanowski, then throws the ball. Now Keith Byars, he is big. Go down low. Bill Romanowski. Keith Byars does not get his arms around the ball to protect it, but it's a big hit that causes the fumble.
Each team has fumbled twice. Denver has recovered all 4 times. This is Davis. Out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 18 yards on the play.
Well, the Denver Broncos can't get wide like they usually do, so what a good adjustment. They bring Terrell Davis in motion, and the back comes out of the backfield. They pull Dan Neal, a different look for the New York Jets, and look, no defender on the outside. Now you just got to keep retreating and keep Terrell Davis from going for big yards. But look at Terrell Davis. Doesn't take him long to decide what he's going to do with that football once you put it in his hands.
23 touchdowns on the season, 21 of them on the ground. Elway, quick drop, quick throw, and complete to Shannon Sharp across the 35. That's Elway's first complete pass of the day.
Well, even that football came out of his hand. It looked a little funny, like it fell out of the bottom. No spin on it. You know, kind of hard for the receiver to catch. 1 for 6, and Vinny Testaverde, I've been trying to talk about it, but Bill Parcells has said many times, this quarterback, talking about Vinny Testaverde, weatherproof. No matter what the conditions, he seems to throw the football well.
2nd and 4. Another quick drop and another quick pass, and that's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Rod Smith.
Well, Rod Smith hits himself in the chest. He says, hey, my fault. And yes, it was there. You got to make that catch. And, you know, the passing game, when it starts to struggle, everybody loses a little faith. You lose that rhythm. You know, no receiver for the Broncos is in the rhythm of the football game yet. All they've done is go down the field and block for Terrell Davis.
So now Elway and the Broncos look at 3rd and 4, and Elway uses a timeout. That's the 2nd timeout used by the Broncos here in the first half. We're still scoreless at Mile High.
We go more places than any airline in the world. Rising is global.
For over 70 years, our business has been helping generations of families live a better life. With retirement plans, life insurance, consumer loans. We're American General Financial Group. 50,000 men and women, over $100 billion in assets, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
The new Acura RL has distinctive styling to appeal to your elegant side. A performance-tuned suspension to satisfy your assertive side. And a sophisticated front and side airbag system to protect both sides. The new RL from Acura.
When his brand new fridge goes bad, it's Cosby versus customer service.
I don't want to use a courtesy phone because I'm not going to be courteous.
And all new Cosby, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new 1999 TL and by the American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
We remind you, coming up at halftime, Jim Nantz and the crew are here in Denver for the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. They'll have first half analysis and highlights from the NFC Championship game. And Jets Hall of Fame Super Bowl III MVP Joe Namath joins us live. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report.
Well, we got a whole team there. Now, we got a quarterback. I don't know about the rest of that crew. You know, I don't know. I saw them on the pregame set. They were all they were worried about was their hair and their makeup. But here we go. Fireman Ed, cheerleader for the New York Jets, and he brought the fire truck and some other people. I mean, some good size the Jets have representing themselves up in the stands.
5 wide receivers for the Broncos on 3rd and 4. Batted down, another pass batted down against Elway today.
Last week, Mark Brunell had 4 passes knocked down when he played the New York Jets in the playoff game. Today, the Jets, hey, they are at best an average pass rushing team, but what they do, Anthony Pleasant, number 98, knows he's not going to get to the quarterback, make the sack. When you watch the quarterback, he raises his arm, raise yours too.
That's 3 Elway passes the Jets have knocked down today. And Ruin gets this one away. Not a terrific kick. Meggett fields it at the 20 and is dropped. And a penalty marker is down. That was Darius Johnson down for the Broncos. And this is going to be against the Jets. Our referee today is Ed Hockley. So the line of scrimmage was going to be the 20-yard line.
Seems to be a lot of discussion, so I'm kind of waiting to see, is it really holding, or
did you think he was just kidding?
Well, you know, sometimes they get confused too.
Illegal block in the back by the receiving team, number 44, during the kick. 10-yard penalty. And forced from the end of the kick. New York keeps the ball. First down.
Well, that's just another miscue for the New York Jets. And look at this game so far. The Jets have had the opportunities. Curtis Martin on the fumble. Tyrone Braxton hustling. Keith Myers. Fumble. The Broncos, they're not handling it much better either. Terrell Davis fumbles. Tom Ruin. Whoops. And we've seen the drop passes, the penalties. You know, as we're sitting here, Greg, during the commercial, I say you can feel the tension. It's building because both sides, they're in territory they've never seen this year, where their offenses can't score.
First down, Jets from their own 10. Testaverde throws Martin out of the backfield. First down, up the sideline, and more. Across the 35 and out to about the 38-yard line, where Romanowski finally tracked him down.
What really happened in this play, they got Curtis Martin wide open. Keyshawn Johnson comes in motion, goes inside, brings the defense. Look at this. Nobody out there. The linebacker coming out to cover him. Looked like John Mobley tripped and fell down because of the traffic problem created by Keyshawn Johnson going across the middle.
And Vinny Testaverde, a perfect 12 out of 12 for 132 yards so far today, and a little more breathing room for the Jet offense now to the 37. Martin to the 39. Cadrez was there to meet him. When we talked with Bill Parcells yesterday, when we said, well, you know, it might be windy out there, he said, what? I hope it blows at about 100 miles an hour.
You know, spoken like a coach, a guy who doesn't have to handle the football, throw it or catch it, punt it or kick it. And it's easy for him to say because, you know what? When he watches the film and sees, you know, the incompletions, all the mistakes, he's going to forget about the win.
Not much passing yardage for the Broncos. Testaverde with time over the middle. Keyshawn Johnson. And Johnson is cut down just short of the 45-yard line by Romanowski.
Well, Keyshawn Johnson, we've seen it all from him. He knows how to run the football last week. But this is something because of his size and his courage and the fact that Coach Parcells says, hey, this guy likes to compete. He will go over the middle, catch the tough catch, and take the hit.
You know the roll call from a week ago. 1 touchdown receiving, 1 running, a fumble recovery, and interception.
He was the most proud of. I asked him, the fumble recovery was the thing when that game was over. He said, that's what made me happy.
3rd and short, quick pass, incomplete. Trebek, the intended receiver.
That was great defense by the Denver Broncos. They see this play every single day in practice against their team. The inside receiver going short, trying to pick up the first down, and Vinny Testaverde does a good job because Ray Crockett read the play and was coming up for the interception or a really big hit.
Testaverde's first incomplete pass in 14 attempts today.
Ray Lucas at quarterback. What the Jets are going to do, they're going to see the defense.
And now the officials step in.
Timeout, New York.
And the Jets call timeout.
Team timeout.
That is their second. This is quite an interesting day at Mile High Stadium. We're still scoreless.
Neil, did you eat your chunky soup?
Huh?
Neil, did you eat your chunky soup?
Yeah, man. Chunky sirloin burger with loads of vegetables and lots of beefy sirloin burgers, grilled to perfection.
Neil, did you eat your chunky soup?
Why do you keep saying that? Mama.
Gotta make sure you eat good.
Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger. It's loaded with beef.
Well, Bill Parcells had a little something up his sleeve that last time.
He does. The Jets, Bill Parcells, when he was with the Giants, the New England Patriots, he puts in a guy like Ray Lewis on 4th and short. They read the defense, and they call the play from the line of scrimmage. The coach tells Ray Lucas what to call from upstairs. He makes the decision. They run the play that gives them the best chance.
Now Kidd is deep and gets the kick away. It bounces at the 20. Darian Gordon doesn't quite get back to the 20-yard line. So it'll be first down for the Broncos. While we have the opportunity of just what were more than 17 million people doing last Wednesday night, they were making the premiere of 60 Minutes 2, the #1 program on any network. See what they're talking about next Wednesday on 60 Minutes 2 here on CBS, America's most watched network.
Hey, I ran a promo last week.
I was so proud of you.
Yeah, I did good. Only mispronounced 3 words, stumbled a little.
It was in English and everything.
It was good. I enjoyed it too, Greg. Watch out. Don't let the backup in. You know what they say.
Broncos starting field position has been better than that of the Jets. They start from their own 19. Davis left side across the 20 to about the 22, maybe the 23-yard line.
I mean, that's really, again, watch the New York Jets defense on this play. Terrell Davis, just look at all the defenders. Mo Lewis, look, he goes up the field. Terrell Davis has to go inside. He makes the play with one arm, but look at all the defenders around the football. Don't over pursue. Mo Lewis going to his first Pro Bowl. Best defensive player the New York Jets have.
On 2nd and 6. Elway with time over the middle. Davis out of the backfield. First down and more to about the 34-yard line. 11-yard pickup. Cox and Mickens with the tackle. First down, Denver.
Now, when you're going to play defense like the New York Jets do, what's going to happen when there's a play-action pass? Look how long and look at the pocket John Elway has. Nobody open down the field. So if they're not open down the field, nobody's underneath. Throw it to the running back, Terrell Davis. But the Broncos even told us that. He said the way they play run defense, when we go play action, John Elway should have a long time to decide where he wants to throw the football.
Davis with the lion's share of yardage today. Penalty marker flies. The pass out of the backfield is Howard Griffith. Now let's check the penalty. It's going to be a holding call on the Broncos.
Well, that's something that should not happen on first down for the Denver Broncos when they run a play action pass.
Here's Ed Hockley.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's the right guard, Dan Neal.
Let's down. That makes better sense. The right guard, 62. Here he is. Watch him. Goes up. Hand slips up to the face, and he keeps it there for a while against Jason Ferguson. And the officials are going to see that every single time.
We have 5 minutes to play here in the first half. This is the longest all season long Denver has gone without scoring.
I'd say most of America is a little in shock. You turn on the TV, you're expecting 42-38 to be the game and the score.
Time. Elway slips the rush, floats to his left, and throws, and incomplete. Rod Smith caught it, but the officials say not inbound.
We got a penalty flag.
And now we have a discussion.
Rod Smith probably went out of bounds, came back in.
And Ed Hockley explaining it all now to Dwayne Gordon of the Jets.
But that time, what coverage down the field by the New York Jets. John Elway scrambling around again. Look at the time he had to throw the football. Nobody gets open until the very end. Rod Smith finally breaks away from the defender, gets along the sideline, try to make the catch.
The Denver receiver, who was first to touch the pass, was out of bounds. Therefore, illegal touching. The penalty is declined. Brings up second down.
So the Broncos will now look at 2nd and 20.
I think John Elway, what he is arguing about, I think the ball was tipped.
I thought it was tipped too.
And the ball is tipped. Now Rod Smith should be able to come back in bounds. He is not the first person to touch it. He can now make the reception, but I'm not sure even, I couldn't tell from here whether he was in bounds or not.
So 2nd and 20 from the 25. Davis looking for room. No cutback room. Cox is there. Let's go back to that play.
It looked like John Elway, either he lost complete control of it. Here he comes. Brian Cox gets his hand up. Absolutely. Now, John Elway can lose control of the football, but he don't throw many end-over-enders. You don't throw for over 50,000 yards and do all the things he's done and throw footballs like that. But Brian Cox thought he was washed up. I thought he couldn't play no more. Comes into the New York Jets and has been a big part of this defense, why it's had success.
3rd and 19. Elway again with time. Now gets rid of it to the far side. That's complete to Shannon Sharp. And Sharp is called down before he reached the 35-yard line. Shannon disagrees.
Now, wouldn't you think Shannon Sharp, and he's a pretty good player, and you got to pay attention to him. Watch Shannon Sharp come across the field. Nobody, and I mean nobody, sees him. Nobody covers him. And then finally, John Elway sees him, throws the ball high up in the air, and the defense finally reacts and gets there to make the tackle.
And a reaction from the mile-high crowd that didn't believe that he had a knee down. Ruin will kick it to Meggett. And this one floats down to the 30. Takes a Bronco bounce inside the 20. There's a penalty marker down back upfield. And finally comes to rest around the 15-yard line. That's a 51-yard kick, but now let's check the flag.
It looked like AstroTurf, that way that ball was bouncing down the field. Greg, we just see so many things that tells you what the conditions of the game, how it's affecting the players. I mean, Tom Ruin.
Well, we have offsetting
penalties. But Tom Ruin is such a good punter, and I've seen him punt extremely well in windy conditions. And that time, kicked it end over end, and the only reason it went pretty far, of course, was because of the bounce and the extra yards on the roll.
Well, you touched on it earlier, Phil. We have two high-powered offensive teams here, and anyone tunes in, it says 3:15 to play in the first half, and you're scoreless.
Well, let's go. Let's make a decision.
There were fouls by both teams on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct by the kicking team, number 25, went out of bounds and remained out of bounds as he covered the kick. By rule, that penalty is declined. There was also holding by the receiving team, number 82, during the kick. That penalty is enforced 10 yards from the end of the kick. That team keeps the ball. First down.
That means Darius Johnson got knocked out of bounds by the Jet defenders. Instead of coming back in bounds, the rule is you got to come in as soon as you can. And he goes, watch him, number 25, going to go down the sideline. The Jet defenders, Chris Hayes, Kevin Williams, push him out. And now he's going to stay out of bounds. Well, you can't hit me while I'm out of bounds. But again, special teams, penalties, killing the New York Jets, just put them in field position where they just can't overcome.
And now Bill Parcells on the far side of the field has taken a couple of steps out onto the field. And he's not quite going to get the explanation he wants right now. So the Jets will start from their own 8-yard line. And now Ed Hockley is going to go over and talk to the coach.
He's going to go over and explain it. You would think it would be all sitting penalties. Let's replay. But since the ball was not returned, that's why they say when he ran out of bounds, that's why that call is wiped off.
Which means that the only penalty that survives the play is against the New York Jets.
Was the holding. We have taken quite a while today. Now, this is one of the big gripes that I think we all have. It takes too long. Make the decision. Get up there and let's call the penalty and be a little faster and keep the game moving for the fans and people at home.
Although, putting yourself in Bill Parcells' position, you would certainly hope to get a good explanation for what you think is the proper call.
But what happens, Greg, anytime now when there's a double foul in a kicking situation like this where there's a change of possession, it's automatically the one against the kicking team is wiped off. And you know why it's wiped off? Keep the pace of play moving in the football game.
Well, we accomplished that, didn't we?
We did that.
3:15 to play, first half. Jets start at their own 8-yard line. We are scoreless in this AFC Championship game in Mile High Stadium. Testaverde throws far side behind Byers. And Romanowski was right there with it.
Well, the way this game is going, you know, I mean, can you imagine saying something like this before the game started? All the points they can score. Whoever scores first, especially if it's a touchdown, could really dictate the pace of play the rest of the day.
I flashed back to our production meeting last night as we went around the stadium, around the table, and all of our guys were thinking, well, what do you think the score is going to be? 45, 35, 48, 40?
I think the lowest was 31 to 28.
Meggett in as a wide receiver, 1 of 5. Testaverde gets rid of it in a hurry, and that's behind Dedrick Ward.
Well, Vinny Testaverde has been afforded really good protection all day long. And this time, when you go to 5 wide receivers, your offensive line, Steve Atwater and blitz, they got everybody covered, but they just sneak through and get pressure on Vinny Testaverde, makes him throw the football away.
We have 2 teams here, neither of which has been shut out in the first half of any game this season.
3rd and long, the Denver Broncos love to blitz the opposing team, make them throw the football short and fast.
Testaverde going to roll to his right. There's a penalty marker down. Passes in and out of the hands. Oh, no, it is caught by Corbett, but there are markers down. And the Jets say this is against the Broncos. You could read Greg Robinson's lips. Come on, Romo.
Offside. Defense number 96 lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. First down.
96 is Harold Hasselbeck.
Greg, when you get backed up in the opposing team stadium like the Jets are here today, Vinny Testaverde, what you do, catch the defense off guard, move the pocket, afford your quarterback that extra 1 second to throw the football. That enables him to find Wade Corbett down the field and open.
Jets first down from their own 22. Testaverde throws for Keyshawn Johnson. Out of bounds just across the 40-yard line. 18 yards and a first down for the Jets.
There's only 2 reasons you can throw and complete this pass against this defense. 1, Keyshawn Johnson. He's big, tall, not afraid to take the hit into double coverage. And maybe the most important of all, you have a quarterback in Vinny Testaverde. They can make any throw and has the power and the accuracy to stick it in there.
2 passes, and the Jets escape the shadow of their own goalpost out to their own 42. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Quick pass, incomplete. Number 90, Neil Smith, was in on Testaverde.
Now, you know, you talk about, you come into a game, you talk about what's going to be called the strategy. It is a chess match. The Jets are throwing the football well. And we've noticed in these last 3 or 4 passes, the Broncos they've had enough of it. Let's change the pace of this. They've been blitzing Testaverde, and they're getting to him, making him throw the football quickly.
Meggett flanked as a receiver to the bottom of your screen. Testaverde, quick drop, throws, incomplete, intended for Corbett.
A lot of pressure on the quarterback, getting in his face, and this time, this is the quarterback's worst enemy. Throwing the football in the middle of the field, and it gets tipped by a defensive lineman. What I always say, because when you're the quarterback, you go, well, it's going to be intercepted. But that time, because the field was so spread, it falls to the ground.
3rd and 10. Testaverde rolls, pulls it down, now throws this side and overthrows Johnson. And the Jets will kick it away.
Well, the Jets have to be somewhat pleased coming from their goal line, getting the football out past the 40-yard line, so they change field position, and that's always your first goal when you gain possession inside your own 10-yard line.
kid gets a much better kick away this time around. It is Gordon from his own 8-yard line. And out to the 30. 49-yard punt, 21-yard return. And 2:01 to play in a game that we figured was going to be just heavy on the fireworks. Look at these teams ranking first and second and first and third in all of these offensive categories. It just hasn't happened that way.
Well, it hasn't happened. And again, let me just say it one more time. If it was a nice, calm day, I think the play calling, the execution, we would see an entirely different football game from both sides.
Wait for the whistle.
The Jets with 11 rushing yards and 171 passing. Terrell Davis. And that goes nowhere. Maybe 2 yards as we hit the 2-minute warning of a scoreless AFC Championship game. We'll come back to Mile High Stadium right after this.
He's a dead man.
They thought they killed him. And got away with his money.
130,000. Bravo.
But no matter what they do,
They weren't wearing their seatbelts.
he keeps coming back.
Man, that's just mean.
You tell him that Porter is back. And he wants his money.
Mel Gibson, Payback.
This time he stays dead.
Wrong answer.
Rated R. Starts Friday, February 5th. Everywhere.
Don't worry. I won't be long.
Oh, okay. Psst. Hey, buddy. Over here, in petites.
Whoa.
Have a Bud Light. This is awesome. Yeah, we love shopping.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Touchdown!
The Turk family has been protecting the people of Chicago for 3 generations. A father with a perfect record, but a less than perfect marriage.
What you really didn't want is to talk.
3 brothers. One is a family man. One is a ladies' man. And one brother is just trying to find his own way.
Your mother's already given up on the rest of us. So don't break her heart, son.
William Devane stars in Turks. Series premiere, CBS Thursday.
We remind you once again, coming up at halftime, Jim Nance and the crew are here in Denver for the NASDAQ Amex halftime report. They'll have first half analysis, highlights from the NFC Championship game, and Jets Hall of Fame Super Bowl III MVP Joe Namath joins us live. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report.
You know, there's Fireman Ed.
The last scoreless first half in an AFC Championship game, Denver at Buffalo. It's the only AFC Championship game the Broncos ever lost. Minute 56 to play here in the first half. 2nd and 8 for Denver. Throwing to the near side, McCaffrey with a fine catch at the 40-yard line. Aaron Glenn was right there, and McCaffrey pulled it in.
Aaron Glenn read the play, but what happened is Ed McCaffrey is 6'5", and he couldn't get around him to make the play.
Clock continues to move. 1:35 to play.
Quarterback sneak.
That's exactly what Elway does, and he gets the first down. And now, timeout called. And the Broncos use their 3rd and final timeout here in the first half.
The executives are at the gate. Around the first turn. That's Bill Williams leading Miss Kelly Mack on the outside. And Jane Carlson. As they pass the car rental counters, Kelly Mack has to stop to fill out paperwork. Now it's Jane Carlson and Bill Williams neck and neck. But Jane's car is right there at Hertz number 1 Club Gold. The trunk is open. The keys are in it. It's Jane Carlson and Hertz number 1 Club Gold. Exactly.
The New York Jets defense has shown they can hang in there and control the running game. But what they've really shown the Denver Broncos, we can cover your receivers down the football field.
Elway under the gun and goes down. Chad Cascadden, number 53, with the sack.
Well, anytime the New York Jets get a sack, Chad Cascadden He's like the guy that can do everything for the defense. Plays linebacker, rushes the passer, covers. Running backs out of the backfield. He can do it all.
2nd and 18. Going to go long down the field for McCaffrey. Incomplete. Corwin Brown, number 44, was there.
Greg, what has happened to the Denver Broncos offense in their passing game is the Jets have not been fooled by the play action passes. And that's what the Broncos offense lives on. But they've changed their coverage in the backfield. Usually, if I can explain this right, the Jets like to split the field. They leave the middle open against almost everybody. The Broncos love that type of defense. Today, the Jets and Bill Belichick are putting both their safeties inside almost every single play, taking the inside passing game away from the Denver Broncos.
Broncos 0 for 1 on 3rd and yardage longer than 8. On the blitz. Elway rolling, throwing downfield. It is incomplete. 4 Jets around Shannon Sharp. And with 56 seconds on the clock, the Broncos will kick it away.
16 years in the league, John Elway can still get out of the pocket, avoids the defender. But again, not enough room to stick the ball in down to the receiver once they get down the field.
And John Elway has not been able to throw the ball effectively today. Vinny Testaverde has, but when the Jets have gotten close, turnovers have killed him.
Hey, you get good at analyzing this thing.
Very much.
Like that.
Dave Meggett at his own 15 for the punt from Ruin. Got it away. And a penalty marker is down as Meggett chases the ball out of bounds.
Holding on the Broncos that time, Ray Lucas, the backup quarterback for the New York Jets, is going to go in. He's going to block the punt. So it was a good job by the Broncos grabbing him and tackling to keep him from blocking the punt.
Holding. Kicking team number 59, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Let's Glenn Cadrez watch up the middle. Ray Lucas, number 6, he's coming. He is going to absolutely block that punt. Glenn Cadrez, number 59 on the ground. That is a terrific job knowing your beat and knowing the quickest way to that punter is right up the middle. So Rick Dennison, the special teams coach, he's going, good job.
Nice penalty.
Good job.
47 seconds left on the clock. Meggett from the 30 to about the 39-yard line. If you're not going to Miami, CBS Sportsline will bring Miami to you for the big picture with continuous updates and reports throughout Super Bowl 33. Log on to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline. Probably get all those pictures of Phil relaxing in his backyard.
Oh, sure. Just what I do.
38 seconds to play in the first half.
I don't think I ever relax, really. You know, I just live tired. Just keep going.
Certainly didn't relax on those promos last week, did you? First down from the 40, Testaverde. With time over the middle, Quebec hangs on after juggling for a moment. And it's a first down at about the Denver 41-yard line.
Well, Vinny Testaverde, you get in this position, your time is against you. No timeouts, 1 timeout left. You go down the middle of the field, but the Denver Broncos, watch what they do. Look, 2 pass rushers, Alfred Williams on one side, somebody over here, I can't see who it is, and they just give Testaverde all day to throw. Wayne Corbett in the middle of the field, good move, perfect throw.
You might recall a week ago, Wayne Corbett had a bit of a fumbling problem and came out with wearing some long sleeves, much to the delight of Bill Parcells.
Sleeves and gloves. Bill Parcells says, I want my wide receivers, when it gets cold, I want something on their arms to give them something that, so when the ball is thrown, it gives it a chance to stick, because your skin, when it's cold, gets slick just like everything else. And Wayne Corbett didn't have him on last week. He fumbled, and he heard about it.
You saw the number of timeouts remaining. It's a score, 0 for each team. 29 seconds on the clock. Testaverde throws, complete, out of bounds. No, it's ruled incomplete. Dedrick Ward with the dive.
Well, the Jets throwing some different plays at the Denver Broncos defense. Dedrick Ward going down and breaking out. He is wide open. Vinny Testaverde puts it there.
Incomplete.
Just can't quite bring it in. See what happens. The wide receiver, Dedrick Ward, knows the sideline. He's fighting all these thoughts, and he forgets that number one thing: catch the football.
23 seconds on the clock. Testaverde going to throw. Complete. Dedrick Ward. And Ward out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. What a terrific throw by Vinny Testaverde.
What a terrific throw. It's a blitz. What a pickup by the New York Jets. Look at all the defenders inside. Single coverage up top. And look at the pickup. Nobody gets near the quarterback. Testaverde anticipates the throw. Nice catch by Dedrick Ward, who turns the defender all the way around down the field.
So now the Jets out of timeouts. First down at the 14-yard line. You see Testaverde's numbers in the red zone. As time throws incomplete, intended for Curtis Martin out of the backfield.
If that ball would have been complete, the half would have probably ended. Vinny Testaverde, the Jets, they got to know if you're going to throw it, it must go into the end zone or to the sideline. 10 seconds left, no timeouts. You've got to throw it in the end zone.
Keith Byers bringing the play in from the sideline.
Now, what you do as a quarterback, you've got to know this, Greg. You've got to come to the line of scrimmage, and it's got to be an instant read. You've got to know right away you've got a chance. If not, you just drop back and you throw it out the back of the end zone or out of bounds.
Keyshawn Johnson flanked to the near side of the field. Testaverde throws incomplete. Keith Byers is intended receiver.
The Jets, they pack everybody inside, and what they do, watch Keith Byers coming out of the backfield. He's going to do an out and up, and he is open for the touchdown. And Vinny Testaverde's upset. He knows it's a touchdown. He wants holding on the play against Bill Romanowski. It was not.
This will be a 32-yard field goal attempt by John Hall. And Hall's kick is good. The first points of this AFC Championship game come as time expires here in the first half. Our halftime score, the Jets 3, Denver nothing. Coming up, we'll be sending you downstairs for the NASDAQ MX halftime report. Jim Nance and company will get you caught up on first half highlights and all the NFL news after these messages from your local station.
February, the coldest, bleakest month of the year, but not on CBS. We've got red-hot comedies, specials, and movies all month long. The 41st Annual Grammy Awards, all the excitement of Miss USA, an original Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation, the miniseries event Too Rich, The Secret Life of Doris Duke, and Shania Twain in her first network special ever. February is red hot. Wow! On CBS. Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
The BMW 5 Series from $39,470.
With AT&T Digital One Rate, this isn't just any phone. It's my, hey Rob, how's the powder in Utah phone? My, I'll take the red. No, make that teal phone. My, how are you doing in college phone? My, can you deliver the piano on Tuesday phone? My, Casey scored a goal phone.
The world of wireless has changed. AT&T Digital One Rate. No roaming or long-distance charges across all 50 states. So now AT&T can make your wireless phone your only phone.
I don't want to pull over before we have to, guys. We gotta make time.
Hey, you guys, here. The air is hot.
That's right.
Roll down your window.
No, roll up your window.
Introducing Solara, an entirely different kind of Camry. It's for you.
Tune in. CY9 Eyewitness News is Washington's most watched local morning news.
CBS Sports presentation of the